hold on for a moment. Have you ever come across this image on the internet? You might be curious about how the driver emerged from the car with minimal injuries, or perhaps you're wondering who this driver is. It's undeniably quite unusual. Welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to figure out this weird F1 crash and everything about this accident, so let's just jump in. After spending a long time looking on the internet to figure out what kind of car it was, it turned out to be an old Ferrari from the late 90s. But there were a couple of things that made it special. The sponsorship by Tic Tac meant it could not be from 1998 or earlier. Also, the air intakes on the car from the year 2000 were different, so it had to be a Ferrari F399 from 1999. That year, Michael Schumacher and Eddie Irvine were the drivers, but the person in the crashed car didn't look like either of them. He was taller, and both Schumacher and Irvine usually wore helmets with their racing colors on them. The other point is the Marlboro sponsorship of Michael's car, but the crashed car has written Kroijmans. So there is the clue. It turns out there are several Ferrari and Maserati dealerships in the Netherlands using that name, and the guy behind them is named Federico Kroijmans. He's a big shot in the car business and used to be the main person bringing Ferrari, Aston Martin, Cadillac, and Corvette into the Netherlands. But here's the kicker. His company ran into some money troubles and went bankrupt with debts totaling over $500 million. Now let's talk about Federico, or you can call him Fritz. He's famous for having a jaw-dropping collection of cars, including some really pricey Ferraris like the 250S, Enzo, and an F50, worth a cool $20 million. But what's crucial to our story here is that he used to own Michael Schumacher's 1999 Ferrari Formula 1 car. He managed to buy it directly from Ferrari back in 2001 because he had such a good relationship with them. You see, Ferrari has this program called Corsa Cliente, which is like a VIP club for super rich folks. They pick their wealthiest clients and let them buy retired F1 cars. These lucky owners can then take their cars to a racetrack, and Ferrari takes care of everything: the mechanics, fuel, tires, and repairs. It's all on them. Our buddy Fritz was one of these exclusive club members. And when I say exclusive, I mean it. These F1 cars cost between 2 and 10 million pounds depending on their racing history. Plus, Ferrari charges an annual fee to keep these cars running, and that's no small change. The thing to know about Corsa Cliente is that when you buy a Ferrari, you can't actually keep it at your home or show it off to your friends in your garage. Ferrari keeps the car at their factory. Also, if you want to order a car right after the racing season, it's because Ferrari doesn't want other Formula 1 teams to learn their secrets. But here's the catch. Even after you buy the car, they won't let you drive it or take it home for 2 whole years. So you have to pay a lot of money for the car and then wait patiently for 2 years. We found out that Fritz once drove his car in a special race for old Formula 1 cars in the United States. In one of those races, he was at the famous Laguna Seca track during the Monterey historic event. This track has a really cool corner called the Corkscrew. It's like a big twisty turn with a huge drop in the middle. It looks amazing. During the race, there's a rumor that Fritz lost control of the warm-up lap, which can happen especially for an amateur driver. It seems like he might have been trying to warm up his tires. Unfortunately, there's only one video of that race available, and it doesn't show the incident. So it's challenging to figure out what caused this unusual crash, but we can speculate about the most likely reasons based on similar situations in other races. During a warm-up lap, you usually follow a car that sets a slower speed. This helps reduce the chance of a high-speed crash, so the idea of a car splitting in two seems unusual unless there is a very big crash. However, there are some posts on some forums that are telling what actually happened. One of them is who claimed to have seen the whole thing. He said, "I was sitting under a tree at the exit of turn 6 and saw the whole thing. He wasn't going that fast, got on the throttle too early and spun to the inside and hit the right front on the inside tire wall. It wasn't that hard of a hit. It was scary to see the driver sitting there with his legs hanging out, totally exposed. I'm glad the corner workers got the rest of the cars slowed down." Keep in mind that this is just one person's account, and there isn't much other evidence to support it, so we should be a bit skeptical about it, but it does make some sense. Imagine this. The driver pushes the gas pedal, their car hits a bump, and that makes the car wobble. Eventually the car crashes into the inside barrier, but here's the puzzling part. If everything happens slowly, why is the car now broken in half with the driver's legs poking out? It's cool that this is the same type of car Michael Schumacher had a bad crash in at Silverstone. But his crash was different because he had a brake problem and was going way faster on Hanger Straight. Still, it's kind of surprising that Fritz's crash was strong enough to damage the front of the car but not hurt him badly. That person also added, the driver was Federico Kroijmans, the Ferrari and Maserati importer for the Netherlands. The car is an F1399. He was able to get himself out of the car and limp around. He is tall and a bit overweight, so I wonder if they modified the monocoque for him to fit. It was a clean brake at the bulkhead where the steering wheel attaches. I didn't take any pictures, it seemed kinda sick too. Most people aren't as small as F1 drivers, so it's usual for regular folks not to fit comfortably in F1 cars. To make room for taller people like myself, Ferrari might adjust the car's structure like the seating area. Sometimes, when you're inside the car, your knees might not have much space or the driver might sit a bit higher, which could be risky if their helmet gets too close to the roll bar. Another Reddit post also confirmed the speed of the car was very slow. In another post from a forum explaining the accident, this person wrote, "My colleague just had the driver on the phone and he said this has scared the living hell out of Ferrari as well. Nobody knows yet what has happened. They suspect that aging of the material is the problem. The car wasn't modified in any way. That guy is unbelievably lucky. Only a bruised leg." No surprise, right after the car crash, the Ferrari mechanics quickly covered and removed the car. Maybe they changed the car to make it more comfy for Fritz to drive, which could explain why it broke so cleanly. See this picture? The car split into two clean pieces, probably where they put the parts together. The glue they used is super strong, but not as strong as the car's carbon, which might explain why it broke so cleanly. Fritz was really lucky to survive this. See how thankfully he is looking at his legs? Well, no doubt F1 is full of risk and the world's most dangerous game, but this accident was really weird. This is still unexplained officially, and we see very rare sources on the internet talking about this. So it's not covered what really caused this crash. Was it bad maintenance or a manufacturing issue? What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to our channel and check out more here.